This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Salem 26D BUD. Okay, so first of all, you have scissor type stabilizer jacks, but you also have an added feature. You have this yellow piece here that's called a strong arm. It takes the forward and rearward movement out of the trailer. So basically you're going to have this loose. You're going to lower this down to the position you want it. Once you get it in the position you want it, tighten this up so it's locked into place. But always make sure you loosen it up before you crank it back up. So just try and remember. There's one on each. There's 4 of them on here, so one on each corner. So just make sure you lock it into place, and then you loosen it up when you're moving it up and down. Okay. So you got a power awning with LED strip. This is the vent for the range hood. There's a baffle inside here, so you can pull it free. You stick your finger up there and pull it free, and let the fan vent freely, so that baffle just flaps freely. But when it's in storage or you're traveling, you want to make sure it's locked into place. Outside speakers. This is the fresh water tank. Usually you're going to be getting water from your city water hookup, but if you happen to be at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can pre-fill this tank and use the outboard pump to pump it. So, also the drain for it, if you can see way back in there, that white gate valve, that's the drain for the fresh water tank. Okay, and then you have TV signal here and some power, so you can put a TV set. This is a port for a sprayer. Right, so right here we have a AC refrigerator. This turns on as soon as you plug in the trailer. All right, this is your sprayer here, and this piece right here is your LP hose to hook up your griddle. You got a male end there and a quick connect over here. Okay, so when you pull out your griddle, the quick connect side goes on here, obviously, and then the male side connects under the trailer right here at this this quick connect fitting under the trailer. So you have to plug this in, plug the hose in before you use it. Okay. The only thing to know about the steps is they've changed a little bit. You don't have a pin to adjust the legs anymore. You can just push up on this lever right there and slide them up and down. This is just in case you purchase a solar battery charger. You can just plug it in right there. You have 2 LP tanks with automatic changeover regulator. This is your power tongue jack here. Now if it fails, you can take off this cap, and this comes with a crank that's in the front compartment, and you can put it on there and crank this manually if you have to. Deep cycle marine battery. That's the kill switch for the battery right there. Always keep it on unless you put it in storage. Because you want, when you're using it, you always want it on because you want to be able to charge the battery up. So you got a 30 amp cord that stores in the trailer. These are your dump valves. You see you got 2 gray valves and a black valve. Black is toilet water and waste. Gray is sink and shower water. Always dump the black first because it's the dirtiest of the water, and then you dump the gray second to kind of wash it out. After that, you can come over here to the black tank flush, hook the hose at the dump station on there, make sure your black valve is open, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your tank and clean it. This is the city water hookup, most common way to get water to the trailer. This is cable and satellite through. Your furnace, the switches are inside, the gas switch is inside anyway. Now if you look down here, this works on either gas or electric. There's a switch right here that's off. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So before that'll work, you got to flip that switch on. Also, try to put this together here. Never run it without water in the tank. You always got to make sure you have water in the tank. Okay, and I'll show you the other switches when we get inside. This just means you're pre-wired for a backup camera. Now you have to inspect the roof every 90 days. So You can go up there yourself or have somebody else go up there, but you have to inspect the seals and just make sure there's no cracking or separation. I'm going to wipe my camera off here. Hold on. It's got water all over it, rain all over it, which can't be good. Okay, so so you want to go up there and look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. You want to check the vent covers to make sure they're not cracked by being hit by a low branch, or no road debris flipped up there and damaged the roofing material, that sort of thing. So give it a good inspection every 90 days. This is your panel here. So this is for your slide out. This is for your power awning. Never leave the awning out unattended. Always roll it in if you're not going to be there. Light switches. You turn the water pump on here. I told you about the water pump for the fresh water tank. You also use that to winterize the trailer. This is to light your water heater on gas. Remember, I showed you the electric switches in the lower left-hand corner outside. Alright, battery is charged. Fresh water has a third in it. Black is empty, gray empty. They graduate up in 1/3 increments, so once it gets past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and black tank. Alright. So, your fireplace has a remote, which is right here. So, there you have it there. You got low, high, and off. Those are the fan speeds, okay? You also can adjust the appearance of this. There's a timer, and you can use the timer to have it turn on like right before you get up in the morning or something like that if you want. So there's a lot you can do with it. The sound system has a remote here. So this will, you can stream off a USB. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with Bluetooth. It has FM radio. This HDMI is an in, so if you wanted to go into the system, let's say you got a TV in here and it's hooked up to your TV, you'd set like a portable Blu-ray player, for example. You could put it right there and go right into the system if you wanted to. Also has 2 speaker zones. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So there's a lot you can do with it. Make sure this is the signal booster for the digital antenna, which should be on when you're using the antenna, or else you won't get a good picture with your TV. Okay, this is just telling us that it's pre-wired for a Wi-Fi booster and router. The booster antenna would go on the roof, obviously, and then the router would be down here. It's just telling you that it's pre-wired. If you're interested, you can go to this address, or you could talk to our people up front. So I'll be a couple minutes. So let's see, I lost my train there. So yeah, so just check that out. Basically what it does is it gives you better public Wi-Fi. It boosts the signal really well, and then they also have a router, so all your devices are attached to the router, and then the router attaches to the public Wi-Fi. Okay, all right. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood. I told you about the fan and the baffle outside and all that. Okay, this, I don't know if he's got the gas on. Let's find out here. This is the sparker here. You spark it by turning it clockwise. You got 3 burner knobs, and this is the oven knob here. So let's see if he's got his gas turned on. Yeah. So right there, just spark it and off you go. Now the oven has got a pilot light. It's all the way to the back on the bottom. I can spark it so you can sort of see where it's at. Okay. Now to operate the oven, you have to go to the oven knob and put it on the pilot symbol. Then you depress it. You keep it depressed during the lighting process. Then you're going to start sparking this by turning it clockwise. After it lights down here, you'll just hold it in still for another 10 seconds or so. And then you go to the operating temperature. But when you shut it off, the pilot light goes out, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Alright, so this device here is the power converter. This converts AC to DC power. Alright, so you have regular household type circuit breakers here, just like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled as AC power, 120 AC. Then over here you got 12 volt DC. So these are 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay. Also, this is a battery tender, so it always senses how much energy your battery needs up front, and it'll send it. You know, 10 amps if it needs it, or it'll just trickle a couple up there, whatever it needs. So that's good. This refrigerator is 12 volt, so it runs off the battery, which is being charged by your alternator when you're pulling it, and then when you're plugged in, it'll be running off the power converter. Okay. All right. So your couch obviously jackknifes down. You can take out these posts and set the tabletop on these cleats, and you got another bed there, 2 bunks. Your thermostat is like any other thermostat. This is the mode bar here. You just hit it to light it up, and then you go through the different modes. Try to always run on auto, though. That's important. Seems to work best. This is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector right here. It should always be green. If it goes off, you're going to take everybody outside and leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's happening. Okay. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The toilet, the thing to remember if you don't know RV toilets, you can't use it dry. By dry, we're talking about the black tank, which is directly below. All right. So it goes like this. So you pull into the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you would come inside, you have your toilet chemical with you, you dump 1 dose right there in the bowl, then you step on the pedal, and because the water's hooked up, water will be swirling around and going into the black tank directly below. And you hold it there until you put about a gallon or so of water in the tank. It doesn't have to be exact, some people use more, it's up to you. But the main thing is you have to have water and chemical in it when you start using it. It can't be dry. Otherwise the smell will be really bad and it can get clogged up also. Okay. Alright, so let's walk into the bedroom and see if there's anything else. You have some storage under here, of course, with totes. You can hook up a TV here. You got signal out, power, and then a backer plate here for bracket. This is the emergency window. Okay. And the bed does come up also, and you can store underneath there, alright? Okay, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That's very important to do. And make sure you winterize it come late fall, early winter, and you'll be all set. So thank you very much.